Welcome to Yael and Matt Recap Stuff. I'm Yael and Matt, and you are recapping stuff. I'm going to conjure Yael.
Hi!
Hey.
What?
I'm going to conjure you.
What is Conjure?
Because we're watching The Conjuring.
Oh, Conjure. What is Conjure?
So she's,
What is Conjuring?
she's already confused. It means
I'm always
summoning.
confused.
She doesn't know what a lot of English words mean.
And you don't know what a lot of Hebrew words mean.
Yeah, I do. They mean Jewish stuff.
No.
So this movie starts with young nurses talking about a doll that is moving around in rooms. So you think it's going to be about a haunted doll.
No, the $100 is in the next movies.
And then they find out that there was a girl who was 7 years old who was lonely. And then they gave her permission to enter the doll. And the walls were defaced. They're talking to a couple who are...
It's Annabelle.
They're like ghost hunters.
They're super cool.
Demonologists.
I like
the wife is a medium. And the dad... Well,
the dad is handsome.
The husband is he's a demonologist. He's one of the only approved priests to do exorcisms. So it gives you all this information because it pulls
But it still
back.
needs the okay from the Vatican.
Yeah, it still needs to be okayed by the Vatican. And so they're screening a film about this case that they were working on about a haunted doll named Annabelle.
So when the movie started, I thought that I watched that movie, but I wasn't 100% sure. And our whole idea is to watch movies that none of us watched. I'm still not sure. Like I don't think I watched it, but I did.
I don't think you did either because you seem to react like.
Oh my god, I love that movie. So yeah, so
it's a quality movie.
Really good movie.
So if you like it, I mean, if you like good movies, stop watching this. Go watch it.
Yeah, it is really good movie. Yeah,
all the stuff that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's one of the only horror movies on IMDb that rated really high.
Not true. There's a lot of horror movies that are rated high.
Yeah, the movies that became cult or movies that like were popular back like.
Let's just stop generalizing and talk about the movie.
New movies, horror movies are usually like so we watch them all and stuff like that.
So the movie takes place at a college presentation where they're talking about their jobs and what they do in this most recent case, but also the filmmakers have planted the seed for a movie about the doll to come out at a later time.
Yeah.
Which they kind of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, so Annabelle doesn't rate that high. The Conjuring was the only one that like, the first one was the only one that like was really high rated and...
So we meet them, and then we meet a family that's just moving into a house. And there's girls, and they're playing a blindfolded game called Hide and Clap, where one of them has to look for them, tells them what to clap, and then goes towards their sound.
In Hebrew, we call that game Parai Veret. I asked him if he knows that game. He said no. In Hebrew, Parai Veret means blind cow. That's the game. That's the name of the game. And then when I thought about it, I was like, oh my god, that's a really weird name for a game. Who's gonna be the cow? Like, okay, I will be the cow, the blind cow. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah. I never thought about it as a weird thing, but...
it's a weird thing, but kids get bored and they play dumb games in the 70s, so...
Yeah. So in the 70s, they played it in the 90s.
This movie takes place in the 70s.
And the movie is based on true story, and...
Now let's play a game called Mute Cow, where you don't talk and I recap this.
Hey,
alright?
You're a vegetarian, you should be like...
Right.
Nicer to cows.
Let's move on and get back to this.
Wait, I have something important to say.
Okay, alright, what is it? What is it that we already talked about?
It's based on a true story, and this couple, the demonologists, are actually worked back then on that case. And they worked also with the people that made the movie and helped them.
As consultants, you know.
And yeah, and the lady was sitting in the front row. We didn't like rewind to see that, but I read it after that she was sitting in the front row in the lecture in the university. That they opened the movie with it, so it's cool.
Yeah, so while the kids are playing hide and clap, they discover a hidden room in a closet. And then the next morning, the older daughter complains that there's a funky smell. Someone died, but it doesn't smell anymore. Mom notices that all the clocks stop at 3:07. The dog refused to come into the house that they moved in.
I
so it
hate
stayed
horror
outside.
movies with dogs. Usually they kill them.
You hate how dogs die in horror movies.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but
That's a different sentence
no.
than I hate horror
No, no,
movies
no.
with dogs.
Yeah, because whenever you see a dog, 99% is gonna die.
Yeah, well,
And
guess
it's
what?
sad.
They don't kill the dog in real life. So the little girl
know, but
finds
still.
Sadie the dog dead outside with a rock crushed its skull. And the family's name was the Warrens. No, the Warrens are the couple who has the little girl who was snooping around in the room that they keep filled with haunted stuff because there's a reporter that's writing a story about them. And he explains to the reporter that a priest comes by to bless the room that's haunted, that's filled with haunted
They're pretty
stuff.
religious people,
once a
like not
month.
very religious, but they have like something with the priest and religious and they believers and.
I don't know if that's an actual statement that they're religious people because a priest comes over to bless their room. They obviously feel some connection to the church because they have to get approval and have priests come to do exorcisms. But one thing they explain is that a lot of their stuff, their jobs are just proving to people that their house actually isn't haunted, that it's a creaky noise and expanding floorboards or pipes or something.
Yeah, but they know how to handle.
Yeah, they can tell the difference. She's a medium, and that's, mediums are a real thing. So the wife says to the husband, "Don't blame yourself." Or I'm wondering what they're talking about. And then the cuts back to the home again. The girls say, "Stop touching my legs, stop farting," and they both deny it. Dad keeps hearing sounds. There's a girl named Cindy who starts sleepwalking and banging into this dresser over and over again. Mom keeps getting bruises, and the little girl is talking to someone named Rory, a new imaginary friend.
Did they go to the basement yet? Yes, they did.
Yeah, I said they discovered a secret room.
Okay, I didn't hear that. Because when the dad went to check downstairs, he checked it with matches. And then he left the matches on the stairs, which I was like, that's like too obvious for something that would come up later. I didn't know what though. But
It's just like the matches are getting... At least he didn't put them in his underwear like they did for the Inhuman
Inhuman Resources, yeah.
Also, but speaking of another movie that we watched, We Are Not Alone is basically a Spanish version of this movie, but they take out the fact that it was a couple that are based on real people, and they just replace him with a priest.
No, I didn't feel
that
that.
lives out of town. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Gets pulled into a dresser. It's a little kid. I mean, instead of it being a big family, it's a only child. They basically compound a bunch of stuff. We Are Not Alone is very similar.
It's very similar, yes, but it's not like...
They pretty much adapted it.
Okay.
We could break it down more in depth, maybe in a special bonus episode. But
They're waiting for so many special episodes and didn't give them even one once.
Well,
maybe.
PayPal me some money and we'll make you one. Alright? Just for you.
$6,000.
Yeah.
We're gonna recap your life.
So she says, don't blame yourself. I don't know what they're talking about. It's kind of foreboding. Girls go through this thing and you see stuff's going down. The mom and the little girl play hide and clap. And the mom goes into the room with the dresser. The door opens and arms clap from the dresser. But she finds nothing. And then the girl was in another room.
It was super cool. I love that moment.
There's a lot of girls. I don't know all their names.
Yeah.
A bunch of shit happens.
So there was another thing that I think that happened before that, and Warren's wife is telling her like, I'm going alone, and she's like, no, don't go alone. It was that or?
Is Warren the exorcism guy?
Yeah.
No. Ed and Lorraine are the couple.
No,
Ed.
the exorcism people.
Yeah, his name
demon.
Ed.
Ed?
Yeah, not Warren.
Warren.
No.
I think so.
Ed and
Okay.
Lauren.
So-
Warren is their last name.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just wrote
Ed
like,
and Lorraine
Warren's
Warren.
wife. So the wife was like, she's trying to convince him that she's with him no matter what, but he's like taking care of her. He's like, no, you're gonna stay here, blah blah blah. And then she's telling him, do you remember what did you tell me on our wedding night? And then he says, let's do that again. And I was like, something that I don't believe there in the movie.
He's talking about
what
sex.
husband? No, what husband? No, he talked about the wedding day. Like, let's do that again. Show me one husband that would do that again. The whole wedding day. Would you do that again?
Well, I think he's talking about having sex because he says wedding night, not wedding day. Not let's get married over again.
I thought he was talking about let's do that again.
Also, on a wedding night, in order to have sex again, the wife has to not get drunk and then sleep upstairs. Okay.
And also, the husband should not get very annoying.
Okay. So one of the girls gets pulled out of the bed, wakes up, and her sister is in the next bed. She sees someone by the door. Her sister doesn't, but then the door slams shut. She cries that this presence tells her that I want your family dead. And her mom starts hearing noise at night, goes to check on the girls. All the pictures of the family on the stairway fall down, shattering. So she goes down the stairs, yells, is everyone down there? Goes to leave.
I would watch that movie again now when you're talking about it.
It's a great movie. So
it's a really good movie.
The door slams and it's sending her falling down the stairs. The light bulb explodes, just like in We're Not Alone. She lights a match.
I will watch it again without the recapping, so it's
I'm
more concentrated in the movie.
Gotta watch a movie without writing everything down too, because I feel like that kind of takes you out of the movie. But we're professionals. We're analyzing this. So the hands that clap behind her from the game clap behind her again. She screams. Cindy starts banging her head against the dresser door. She wakes up. A ghoul is on top of the dresser and it jumps down on her. Then Dad comes home. We don't know where the hell he's been all night.
He told his wife that he has to go for doing a job or something.
Yeah. And then the Warrens are at a college seminar the next day. They show footage from a French-Canadian guy getting exercised. The mom attends it, goes to talk to them afterwards. They're a little bit reluctant. And then they finally get over to her house. There's rancid smells, demonic activity, banging sounds which come in threes that Ed Warren tells them could be against the Holy Trinity, making fun of Jesus and God and the Holy Ghost.
I have something to say. The movie didn't feel like it happened in the 70s. Like the music of the 70s, there's something in the 70s that I really like usually in movies. And it didn't feel like the clothes and I don't know. I missed that.
I disagree. I think they did a good job making it feel like a 70s vibe. What do you want them to have? Afros and paisley shirts?
No, not like extremely that thing, but a little bit, because it didn't feel like that.
It's a desolate New England town. It's like a family. It's not like they're going to be talking about President Nixon or something.
No, but it was the radio was there, so I don't know.
So the couple comes over and they start investigating and talking to the family and seeing what's going on.
Oh, and by the way, when the pictures fell off the wall, when you said that, so there was a little girl laughter. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't notice. So,
and then
I don't know where the little girl's laughter comes from.
I have no idea too. That's why I was and then it came out again. It was again. So it's just probably a witch laughter that sounds like a little girl. Anyway, but that was the moment, by the way, that the Mama got locked in basement and the matches were there. Very good scene though. I love that scene.
Yes.
What?
Very good mention of the matches again.
Yes, because now I said in the beginning that he left the matches there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of obvious that something is going to happen. So now it happened. The mother used them.
So Lorraine Warren walks out to the pond. Ed comes out and she sees there's a body hanging from the tree right over his shoulder. They recommend them that they get a house exorcism, say the spirits are angry, and that it won't even do them any good if they leave because they're attached to the family now. So the whole place needs to be exorcised. They listen to the recording. mom's voice didn't record, which is weird.
By the way, I had another question. You're just like reading that very fast. I'm like missing stuff. The classes that they're doing in universities. What the hell is that?
I don't think it was necessarily a class. It could have been just a special event seminar. Sometimes they have people come in.
And I wrote, let's open a business like them. Yael and Matt, demon finders and recap stuff.
We will recap your haunted house.
You're gonna be in charge and taking care of the demons. I'll collect the money. That's what I wrote. Like, how much can we make? Do you think? How much do they charge? I do wanna call them one day, and we're gonna do a recap on the phone call on like demon people. Yeah, how much do you charge for? And also, by the way, whenever that we're gonna move to a new house, like a big one, could we call like demon people like to check that everything is fine before we're moving in?
So a lot of research is done, and then a lot of suicides and disappearances have been taken place on that land.
Why are you ignoring my question?
Because this is not the time to talk about ridiculous questions. We're talking about a recap. I still have 2 pages.
Yeah,
left.
if they watch the movie, so they know your things. They want to. What do you want to hear more? My things, my comments.
Her questions about moving into a house and calling a demonologist.
Or read the movie all over again.
All right, I'm not going to recap anything more. You just read the
and
rest of your
there's
notes.
Another thing that Ed Warren says. It's November 1st.
I thought his name was Warren.
Go to my room. Ed Warren says it's November 1st, and that was like the day that they were there, and I was wondering, so the night before basically there were nothing, there were like just like the pictures were fallen from the wall, and
for those of you who don't have a calendar in front of you, the day before November 1st is Halloween.
Halloween, and they didn't do anything, and then I thought like, what year did Halloween became Halloween? Like,
you mean become a holiday that people dress up and go ask for candy? It was definitely in the 60s. It had already started, probably the 50s too.
Maybe it didn't arrive to Rhode Island.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Rhode Island has always kind of done something weird. They could be Jehovah's Witnesses and don't celebrate holidays too, because they're not church-going people. So.
Oh yeah, they don't like.
They're not baptized.
The father is anti-religious a little bit.
Just not really into it.
Yeah, no, it felt like it came to Ed and it was like, yeah, I want you to know that I was very skeptical in the beginning. I don't like.
Yeah. All right, so we just reading your notes. You want me to not recap the rest of the movie because I don't want to talk about a demonologist coming to the house that we're gonna buy someday.
I want pancakes.
Okay.
They had like a very nice breakfast.
So it turns out that the witch who was hanging over Ed had just sacrificed her 7-day-old baby, and she died at 3:07 a.m. So that's why stuff keeps happening back then, and she put a curse on the land by the love of Satan that anyone would take their lands would be cursed. So they get their helper to come by, and they set up all these cameras around the house, which is hilarious 70s technology. So they have photographic cameras, but it's also pretty cutting edge because if the temperature drops in the room, then they'll take the pictures and all this stuff, which is pretty entertaining little part of the movie there. They wire the place for audio, connect all the doors so they open and shut, and they get some footage of it. Lorraine hangs laundry after everybody goes out for ice cream, and a storm. No, not Lorraine. The mom. She hangs laundry. Lorraine is there. A storm blows a sheet at the wall. No, wait. Lorraine does hang the laundry. The storm blows a sheet. The mom's upstairs, and she gets marks on her arm, like scrapes from a finger or something. She bolts upright, and then the witch appears above her and vomits blood into her mouth. Which, I know we're jumping ahead, you usually save the IMDb facts till the end, but I think that's probably the scene that made it R-rated.
Made it what?
Rated R. Because don't you have a fact that...
Oh yeah, so there's a fun fact at the end of the movie that I wrote. Where is that? Oh. So it's I didn't write it here because there are so many cool things. So I was just like, I can open the IMDb and read for you, but I'm not gonna do that. But can you explain that?
Yeah, it got an R rating, despite the fact that there's no vulgar language, sex, drug use, or violence. Really, there's just scare because it's scary. That's why it got rated R.
It's cool.
I mean, some things are a little bit violent. You don't see like a person getting bludgeoned to death or anything, but a gross-looking witch violently projectile vomiting blood into a person's mouth is violent imagery. But this movie would probably make way more money if it was PG-13. But then people sometimes grade a movie based on the rating. I don't want to see a PG-13 horror movie. That's lame. And so all this stuff happens, and then Mom is bolts upright in the bed. She's she covers it up though. She just says she's like got indigestion when Lorraine asks her about it. And they finally get footage. They try to get approval from the archdiocese of the Catholic Church, and he's reluctant to give it to him because the family is not baptized.
All religion issue.
Yeah. Ed explains to the dad that Lorraine has been affected. Like, he didn't want to take this case because she got really affected after that French-Canadian exorcism, locked herself away for 8 days, and didn't speak or eat. And there's also a cop that is volunteered to spend time over there, volunteering to watch the footage and monitor what happens. Although he's skeptical. That he goes down to get a cup of coffee. He sees wind chimes.
Oh, so yeah, so there's like that's my next note. Oh, we're the first time that we're together.
Yes.
Good job. So, good job, me. Yeah,
is your next note? There's a cop that he goes downstairs and there's wind chimes.
Must speak. So, this officer is going downstairs and then he's looking through the window, and then he hears a voice that says, "Look what you've made me do." And then the chair is moving. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that's very... that's not written. Look what you made me do. And
then he sees...
And he does something. And then he goes back. He's going outside to check that everything's fine. Everything's fine. The chair is still moving a little bit. He's going inside. And then he sees a ghost of a maid.
With
cutting...
Slit wrists.
Like, look what you made me do.
But she doesn't say it with an accent.
She had a different accent, like Rhode Island.
A Rhode Island accent. So she said, "Look what you made me do." Because Rhode Island people put R's where there aren't any. Anyway, so Cindy, meanwhile, goes upstairs, sleepwalking. Door slams behind her, and they hear, "Follow me. This is where I hide." And they bust down the door, and they go in the room, and it's freezing cold. They have cold breaths. Cindy's nowhere to be found, so they use the ultraviolet light to show their tracks to go into the dresser. There's nothing in the dresser, but there's a hidden door behind it, and so then they go in there.
They have the light, the spatial light to see like
ultraviolet light. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you see with it?
You see stains and tracks that are invisible to the human eye.
Can we get that light? I want to see.
Yeah, if you have a black light, basically, you'll put it on your face and be like, "Oh, I have a lot of dust that I can't see on my face." Or if you put it on your pants, you'll be like, "Oh,
what is black light?"
It's a light that's black. We can explain this more.
Okay, we're gonna
not
try
on the podcast. So they find there's a hole behind the dresser in the wall, and so they explore the inner wall. Lorraine finds the spot where Rory's music box was, which is a little little jack-in-the-box that Cindy was playing with before, and a rope with a noose on it. So while the mom finds this, The floor breaks under the stairs. She falls through the walls, several stories. Mom, first of all, got all these bruises in advance, and then she is really earning them because she's been taking a beating, falling down the stairs, now falling through the walls. And then she sees the mother killing Rory, and the mother explaining, she made me do it. She comes upstairs proclaiming she knows what happened, and then...
But her necklace is stuck in the...
she leaves it downstairs.
Yeah, she even didn't notice that, but it's a necklace that her daughter gave her, so that's a connection for
No,
ghosts.
I'm talking about a different person. This is the mom, not Lorraine. Lorraine loses her necklace down there later.
Oh, okay. But Lorraine fell from the wardrobe.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm wrong.
Oh
Okay.
my God! I know you're wrong.
Right.
Yeah, mom is right.
All right. I thought the mom went.
No, no, it was Lorraine.
All right, I'm wrong.
And you were up all the movie.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Okay.
I was. There's.
Oh my God.
So Lorraine loses her necklace.
Yeah, so
down
she's
there.
falling downstairs. She's super scared for the first time of the movie.
This makes more sense.
And she's sitting there. She sees like a lot of things and she doesn't know what to do. She's really scared. And then she trying to just like run far, like run fast upstairs. And then her necklace gets stuck in like one of the...
It's hanging down there.
Yeah. And she doesn't realize that, but it's a necklace that earlier in the movie her daughter gives her. And that's kind of a connection for ghosts to go to other people, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like her daughter. That's when they're moving to their.
Yeah.
No. Okay,
keep
with your imaginary
she comes
story.
up and she wants to solve the puzzle, and then she sees one of the girls gets dragged by the hair and thrown around the room.
Oh my God!
For a while.
I think that's from the trailer because I did saw that moment, but I like not what happened after that. But when the hairs just like start to like go like this.
Goes up in the air. And
yeah, like a little bit.
Yeah,
and then the girl, one of the sisters is like, "Oh my God, look at your hair!" And then when she's like, "Oh," so it's like.
Yeah, so they have a hard time getting her down.
Cool.
They have to cut off her hair.
Yeah.
And the ghost, for some reason, doesn't just grab more hair. He goes away after that. And then Lorraine starts to get a vision of her daughter under the water by the lake behind their house. And then in the middle of the night, her daughter gets pulled out of bed.
The daughter is with grandma.
And then there's banging. And then...
no, the daughter is with grandmother, and they're calling to
they're
make
at
sure...
They're at their house. The grandmother is just staying at their house.
Okay, but they're calling to the grandmother to make sure that the daughter is fine, because she saw that vision.
Yeah.
And she said it's fine, but then at night, we're going to their house to realize that not everything is fine.
Yeah, lights go off, there's banging. The Annabelle doll is in someone's lap in a rocking chair. So mom and dad come home, and as soon as they come home, the rocking chair goes flying at them and explodes. Just they narrowly avoid it. So then they go to see the family at the hotel, and the mom leaves with two of the daughters in the middle of the night. And mom brings them back to the house. By the way, the
girl, the sister...
Okay, this is just one little part. I just want to say it's a little kind of a gap. We've already established that them leaving won't free them or anything, won't save them. But the girl getting dragged around the house is enough that they give it a shot, I guess. And they all go to a hotel. Although the dad leaves again in the middle of the night because he goes back there and he sees that mom and the two of the girls have left. So I don't know why they've separated. So that's just like a little nitpicky thing. They don't explain why he's gone. Alright, what were you saying?
That the girl with the short hair looks like Richie Tozier from It. Okay. The kid from Stranger Things. She was super cute.
Yeah, so the mom leaves with two daughters, and then she brings them back to the house, and then tries to stab them in the kitchen. And they can't. They try to take her out of the house, but they figure out that if they do that, the witch will kill her. Because the mom at this point is totally possessed. It's no secret. She can't hide it from anyone. She fights them off. she tears a piece of the cop's face off. R-rated thing. That's probably the most violent thing that happens, besides blood vomiting. And so they tie her to a chair. Ed decides they can't get the priest over there in time, so he's gonna have to exorcise him.
It's not, they're still waiting for like an okay from the Vatican. I was like, what? It's I don't know. I found it very funny.
Yeah.
That the Vatican needs to give like.
Yeah, but at least the priest was going to put it through, because at first he didn't even want to do that at all. And so then there's Mark, who is the assistant, is going through the house looking for April, the little girl, because they still haven't found her yet. Birds are flying into the house.
Yeah, that was like kind of... The movie was built out of like a lot of like elements of horror movies that have been before, like The Exorcist with the mother thing, and birds. The birds, how do you call it?
The mother thing?
Yeah, all the mother exorcism looked a lot like...
Oh yeah, well I mean an exorcism is a demon possessing a body. I mean it possesses
but
the body of a
like,
little girl in The Exorcist.
Yeah. But it was a lot of like similarity in that reminded me. And Hitchcock, the birds. Yeah, they started to fly around the house like a lot of crows.
Yeah, I mean in the Hitchcock film, the birds aren't possessed by a demon or anything.
Yeah, but it's still like something that...
Yeah, I mean, dead birds can be creepy, and when they fly into houses and die for no reason. They do that in the Stephen King series Castle Rock, too. But so all these birds start flying around into the house, and then Ed starts exercising her, and then she stops. Then she floats and goes upside down, and then smashes the chair on the ground. Somehow doesn't break the mom's neck.
Yeah.
Mark finds April under the kitchen floor, and he yells out that announcement. He finds her in her hiding place. So the mom makes a beeline, try to get her. Gotta kill that bitch. Keep that
getting
curse
like
going.
scissors very fast and running to get the girl.
Which you should never run with scissors. I think that they started that policy in the 70s. And they get her.
That exorcism.
But they have to... They can't get to the mom. She's in the crawl space, and they can't get down there. So they have to get her to fight it from the inside. And they took... The Lorraine starts talking about that.
Lorraine put her hand inside of the floor, grabbing her head to touch her, to like feel her, and start to like trying to make her remember that day on the beach that they were talking about as two mothers and how much fun did she have, and remind her the good things in life. And she was like, and I was just thinking like, oh my god,
fighting the demon with positivity.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, oh my god, how much like a woman would go for a little bit of attention.
Yeah,
I have a lot to learn from that movie.
Yeah.
Hey!
You're doing great.
I can do better.
Oh, please don't.
Can I bite your cheek?
Yeah, so it works, and they get the demon out, and finish the exorcism works with Mom's help from fighting it in the inside, and the family is saved, and then you see Ed go home with the Rory's Jack in the Box as their creepy item that gets taken from their job, and it goes to put in the haunted room, and then it goes to the Annabelle doll, and you kind of get the expectation that that's the next movie that comes out. And then they put some stuff at the end about how...
I think you should watch like an Annabelle.
Tells a little about the story, you know, but the people that it's based on and all that stuff.
Can we watch next week one of those like continuum movies?
I don't know, maybe.
And there's
maybe
the
it's not
Conjuring
going to be
2.
part of this. We
I
could treat ourselves to watching a movie without having to take notes during it.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe, but we'll see. We might end up doing a retrospective podcast at the end of this where we talk about the process of watching 31 movies in 31 days.
We're gonna do that for sure.
And the mental toll that it takes.
And it's gonna take us 31 days to talk about it.
It's gonna be 31 days long.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
movie is really good. Watch it.
Yep. Watch it. Thanks
now
for
when you know
this.
everything, hopefully watch it before you watched it.
Yeah.
So.
Or go watch We Are Not Alone and see if I'm right that it is just a condensed version of this
Yeah, it's like the
For
same
Spanish
idea, but
audiences.
like, oh my god.
No, there's so many details that are very similar.
Yeah, Trump did it.
What?
He wanted to separate like
Let's
the
not talk about
Conjuring.
it, please.
Okay, I
Let's
know, I
edit
know.
this out.
I'm kidding.
All right, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
Talk at the same time.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't say, but
You said that,
the
by
family,
the way, that the family.
no, check it. The families and both of the families were a big part of like making the movie. So they were with the script and everything, and they said that it came out like really good and it described what actually happened there.
And they wanted to say that the girls weren't actually farting. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye. You said that now.